So speaking of which, did you guys see this about their new batteries that they put out? I know we didn't even tease this or talk about it, but Joe, had you seen this? I know you've done a lot of
No, I
battery.
haven't actually.
Okay, so this comes. This article is from Tasmanian, kind of a Tesla focused blog, and the article is actually there's a study that a group from Tesla published on Cell.com. Joule, it's kind of a clever name. So this is like a legit scientific kind of journal thing, and the idea is that they have this. They are combining a I can't speak right now. Lithium ion battery, which we know of, with a lithium metal battery, which to asking my friends about what the deal was, basically lithium metal is great except it's super heavy. So like the energy per kilogram or liter apparently is how they measure it, which I don't quite understand why people are doing that. Is better. So, or I'm sorry, is whatever. You can get more out of it. But the problem is weight, and in a car that would be a big problem. So they found a way to kind of create a plating around it and add in some graphite and stuff to where they can kind of have a hybrid battery, which gives you the energy density and performance of lithium ion and kind of the bigger storage of a lithium metal. And I think what it comes down to in the end was like 20% higher energy density than conventional lithium ion cells. So this isn't like the Samsung one they just announced, which is like 300% more, that may come to cars in 5 or 6 years from now. This is like 20% more, which chances are, because it's coming from Tesla. The one thing I think battery people like about Tesla is that when they say they're going to do something, like it's already done, like it's already happening. And there's every other week, it seems like there's some major battery breakthrough from someone in a lab in some country, but that being put into a car and driven is there's a big gap between those two things. This could be something on battery day, hopefully.
Real quick, to answer your question about why liter as opposed to weight, because you have a certain volume in your car, or available volume to be able to stuff batteries in, right? So if you measure, you treat it as if it was like a gas tank, really. You do care about how much how much electricity it could store in a certain size, right? So that's almost a better judgment than weight, really, because your limiting factor isn't necessarily weight; it's more.
So the way, okay. So, but how much does 1 liter weigh? I believe it's 1 kilogram, isn't it?
How much is what? 1 liter? What'd you say?
I guess it depends on what you're weighing.
Yeah.
Hold on. So 1 liter
of water, maybe,
weighs 1 kilogram.
1 liter of what, though?
Of water.
Okay.
Water. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, because in the battery world, the terms I've seen, it's weird. Sometimes you see them mixed. I'm sorry, you see them used interchangeably. You'll see watt hours per liter or watt hours per kilogram, and so that's what I don't know. Like I really don't.
Well, the math I was doing in my head, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't lithium ion right now like 200-ish watt hours per kilogram?
Correct. So
and if this is 20% higher, that would be what, 240?
Sure. So the way, there's more to this. Okay, so I had a big long discussion with my friend Michael Bream, who owns EV West here in San Diego. Old school EV guy, knows this stuff inside and out, far way more than I do. And he was saying, like at the cell level, I think it was like 230 or 240, but then you put it in the module, so now it drops to like 216 because you have all these other parts, and then it goes down to the pack itself. It's closer to 200. So that's where the I don't know, maybe that's a counterpoint to the liter versus kilogram thing. It's like the overall weight of the thing matters on there. So anyway, if these guys are able to produce 20% higher than that, in theory, that would mean at the pack level, it would be 240. Probably at the cell level, it would be 280 or maybe 300 or something. Whereas the Samsung solid-state battery, which they announced early in March, which we didn't even talk about somehow, was like 900 watt hours per kilogram. So that's an insane amount. So hopefully, battery day is going to be exciting.
I'm looking forward to that.
When is it? I think the last I saw was 3rd week in March. I'm sorry.
That's
May.
Oh, that's just what he said. I think in the shareholders meeting was 3rd week of March.
Yeah. Now, Tim, did you
March
get
or May?
anything
Or
out of
May,
the?
yeah, May.
We're all doing it,
I was thinking,
guys.
what is happening? I mean, time doesn't mean anything anymore, but are we still in March?
It's March 87th. That's right. Tim, did you get anything out of the space talk? The very brief amount of space talk from the interview?
I don't even remember any space talk. Is that
He was
bad?
just basically talking about going to Mars, right? Like,
Well, and I heard he said he has a house down in Boca something.
Wait, did I miss that?
Yeah, I think so. I think he said Boca Chica Village. I don't know if that's a thing,
yeah.
but he's like,
Yep.
oh yeah, I've been spending a lot of time in Texas. So I have a house down there. This was maybe in the part when he's talking about selling all of his worldly possessions and stuff.
Oh, okay. I may have missed that, but yeah, he does have they have a house there that I assume him and maybe a couple other employees or something would stay at in Boca Chica.
can I just say, that's another thing. On Twitter, he's like, I am selling all my worldly possessions. Like, he's going to, like, dress like Gandhi and live in a yurt somewhere. And then on Joe Rogan, he's like, no, we're just going to rent. Well,
Clickbait.
Yeah, there's
He's-
arguments to be
he's
made for that,
clickbaiting
you know?
us. I love it.
I think he's just trying to declutter, honestly, just having that moment of
I
like,
can understand that.
why do I have a 14,000 square foot mansion? Like, I don't need this.
Or, like,
if I'm
6 of them.
Minimizing is a thing.
Yeah, or like 6 of them.
Well, and did you hear
which
that
I
part where
get.
he was? Yeah, when he was getting into that, he like had a house and he had some privacy issues. People like climbing over the fences, and then I don't know where was Tim on that day. We don't know, but but then he said, oh, and then I got this other house on this hill, and it was really nice. And then there were all these little houses nearby, and I knew they were just going to tear them down. I thought, oh, just for privacy, I'll just buy all these little houses too, so that way no one, will come here.
That is a billionaire flex right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm sure all those other
It's
houses
just a
are.
moat of houses.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're all very expensive.
Yeah.
None of them are like less than $2 to $5 million.
Like, he makes it sound like they were all just like gonna get torn down. Like they're like just shackles, like shanty town in Beverly Hills, like looking over some of the most expensive real estate. Yeah, there's some shacks up there that we just had to tip over with some hammers.
Meanwhile, real estate agents are dying to sell them.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for checking us out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this clip from our podcast.
We do a weekly show here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe to Our Ludicrous Future, where we discuss all the things that are going to make our future totally ludicrous.
You can join us here on YouTube or at any of your favorite podcast places. Plus, if you want to get some behind-the-scenes stuff and join a cool community, you can help support the channel at patreon.com. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.